Subscribe for Reddit's controversial opinions. Political correctness ruins TV shows. It seems like every TV show that has come out lately is laser focused on being PC. Now, I'm not against being respectful of other genders and whatnot, but it's insane the lengths these shows are going to be politically correct. Netflix has a TV show called Daybreak that I recently finished. I thought it was a really cool concept and the acting was great. But every other line in the show was spent making sure that the previous line was PC. It's absolutely ridiculous and it completely takes away from the story. Edit. Since I've had a couple people point out that I'm not being specific enough, here's a quote I got from Daybreak episode 3 approximately 20 minutes in. This is Demi's rant. She has her bow drawn and is about to kill Wes. Wes, you look good, girl. Demi, I don't dress for you. I dress for myself. I dress for comfort. I dress for the occasion. And the occasion is revenge. Wes, you and I don't have any beef. Demi, we've been fighting a forever war. In 6,000 years of history, women could only vote for the last 100. Women make up half of America, and we never elected a female president. Men fucked the world like it was a Tinder hookup. And now, women are gonna swipe left. So first off, Wes, the person Demi was about to kill, was completely innocent. He did nothing to Demi that would justify killing him. Her so-called reasoning was that men have largely marginalized women throughout history. Which is true, women haven't had access to the same privileges and opportunities as men, but currently, they do. In Demi's lifetime, if we assume she was around 18 to 20 at the time, there really has been no form of systemic marginalization that would justify the killing of all men. As for the marginalization that actually affected truly oppressed women, it's an atrocity that should have been solved a long time ago. Half the population of the US not being able to vote was undemocratic and unconstitutional. As for not being able to vote in a woman president, I wouldn't really say that's the fault of any living person. In my right-leaning opinion, Hillary Clinton was basically unelectable and Donald Trump was the better of two evils. Voters had the chance to vote for a women VP in 2008, but no one seems to remember that. The fact that this is reasoning to murder someone, even in a TV show, is mind-blowing to me. Women have the same opportunities as men, and if you say different, then I don't know what to tell you. This is the sort of BS I see popping up in TV all the time. Essentially BuzzFeed-level rhetoric and fallacies that make absolutely no sense and are simply untrue. Now, I did enjoy this show. The story and the concept of the show was very interesting. But I think this sort of politically biased writing takes away from the whole experience of the show, and I think the show would be better off without it. You may not agree, and I'm not saying you have to. This is an opinion subreddit. But please respect my opinion and attempt to see it from my point of view. Edit 2, to those of you saying that this is a popular opinion, you're not technically wrong. But at the same time, truly unpopular opinions never get more than 50 upvotes. If anything, this is more of a controversial opinion. Bad writing ruins TV shows. I wish there would be a female lead without it being a statement about girl power. Nothing becomes normal through glorification. Same with homosexuality representation. Just let the character be gay without shoving it in your face. Writers simply lack the intelligence to write a good story while incorporating political issues. I started watching Parks and Recreation. While I am right-leaning, the show is left-leaning, to me at least, and I absolutely love it so far. They know how to laugh at the ridiculousness of both sides, and they don't try to force anything. I think the issue is that these shows aren't honest. They aren't dealing with critical problems or implement themes like, for example, LGBTQ in real ways. I think it should be obvious that these shows are made by the CEOs who just imagine that this political correctness has to be seen as a social statement and therefore be praised. Even though the material it's presented in is actually terrible. Political correctness is treated like a gimmick. I can't speak in any way for the LGBTQ community, and feel free to correct me. But I can't imagine how being dragged into the spotlight and be presented like some exotic animal, only so a media piece can sell well, is what people actually want. I think that, regarding the gay content on TV shows and movies, it is being perceived as social justice agenda and shoving it in people's faces because the media overblows things like that all the time. As soon as there is a mention of a gay character in a future movie or a TV show or something similar regarding gays, they write these sensationalistic headlines and articles about it because they know that people get triggered by those and will open these articles, maybe even leave a comment. If only they would not make gay characters and scenes a thing, it wouldn't be considered so shoved in our faces. And then people, when they see gay content in movies and TV shows, remember the articles and headlines and think it is some kind of forced agenda. A lot of TV is getting irritatingly and repetitively preachy lately. This is part of the reason why Doctor Who doesn't work anymore. 9-1-1 Lone Star, new show. Rob Lowe, firefighters, good premies. His son is gay and an addict, okay, character development, cool. His new crew. Muslim woman. Latino man. Black trans man. And, of course, the white guy who happens to have a black woman for a wife. Okay. Starting to look like you're ticking boxes now. Oh look, another Chara. Oh. Liv Tyler, the empowered EMT captain who coolly tells him in no uncertain terms that, there in Texas, she is in charge when it comes to medical matters, and when it's a medical emergency, she tells the firemen what to do. This is what TV shows are now, just a collection of PC/woke characters and talking points. Utterly boring and not worth watching. Political correctness is bad. Gimme votes and Snapchat gems. I don't know. Netflix pushed Lucifer and Big Mouth and Sex Education and The Good Place, which aren't very PC, and they do poke at it. And let us not forget they pushed the Gay Jesus movie and we saw what happened there. I'm going to say the N-word and no one on Reddit can stop me. I think that this only applies to shows that have bad script writing. Daybreak had horrible script writing, each line didn't follow with the flow of the conversation or dialogue. I found it so cringe and they were definitely over the top with it. Whereas other shows like Sex Education or Atypical actually incorporates those themes without it being obvious. They contribute to the plot and have character development. Look at the writing staff for that dogshit show. Netflix will prioritize diversity over talent, and will continue to churn out these shows because of that. It shows how bad the writers are. You can't help but put a piece of yourself into your creative endeavors. It's going to reflect some of your opinions and stances. But that's what being subtle is for. You make an open-ended situation. Let people engage with your media and form their own conclusions instead of spoon-feeding them the narrative you wish. That is how you alienate an audience. Just look at the new Doctor Who. Upvoted for the true unpopular opinion that Donald Trump was the lesser of two evils. Jesus. I absolutely despise any media that goes out of its way to pander to women or minorities. It just comes off as completely fake and doesn't even get the intended point across. Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt did that for me. Went from being a hilarious TV show to an entire season devoted to the Washington Redskins for some reason. Couldn't keep watching. Same with Sense8. Could have been a fantastic sci-fi suspense but instead focused on LGBT and sexual fluidity. See, this is why I loved Ripley from Alien/Aliens. They wrote her to be a character, not a woman. Tired to see popular opinions on this sub. There is a lot of strange hostility from women towards men in nearly every Hollywood production today. It ruins everything. Not just TV shows. God damn. Do y'all ever get tired of posting these every day multiple times a day? This opinion is much more popular than you think. I actually don't think it's always correct. Hear me out. The nature of the show being politically correct isn't inherently horrible, rather, the poor, heavy-handed execution is what butchers it. It's fine if they want to do an episode regarding some certain social problem. Great. Just don't change the characters or relate them too strongly in any way. We should be aware of the reality of these situations, and reality isn't always as correct as we'd like it to be. What show? Do you like Ricky Gervais? He don't care, Fresh Off the Boat and Blackish all make very stereotypical jokes. I don't think political correctness is on top of Hollywood's priority list. Maybe they weren't trying as hard as you thought they were, and it's just something you notice because these things are difficult/seem unnatural to you. Or maybe it just wasn't a well-written show.